Hey everybody, this is Josh's Beer Tube. Tonight, in our first episode, we're going to be talking about the comparison of a local beer. In this case, we're going to be using Startline out of Hopkinton, Massachusetts' Hop Load Hazy. And we're going to compare it to a national brand and what I think is pretty close in comparison. So what we're going to look at tonight is Sam Adams New England IPA. So what we have here is a broadly distributed IPA with its sort of local equivalent to me. And I'm not going to try to blow out people like between like Treehouse and Trillium and some poor schlub out of East Buttfuck, wherever. So what we're going to try to do is find two beers that I think are pretty equivalent, and we're just going to give them a little shot. We're going to taste them side by side. We're going to take a look at each, see what the flavor profiles is, and we're going to compare cost, quality, and see how that all turns out. And hopefully this is interesting enough for you to come back and listen to me again. And if not, this will be the only one, and that's how I roll. So like I said, we've got Hop Load Hazy here. This is a 7.1% local out of Hopkinton. We've got Hazy here, which is a 6.8 national brew out of Sam Adams. And if we look at both beers here, we can see there's a little bit of a darker hue out of the Sam Adams. The head's a little bit whiter, and then we've got sort of the grapefruit washed out color on the Hop Load Hazy from Startline. I'm going to take a look at each right now. I'm going to start with the Hop Load because, you know, he's the underdog, I think. Now, it smells a little better, I think, out of the Hop Load. And I think this is really going to be prevalent out from the local brews compared to our national brands. The national brands are going to be really clarified. Even though they're quote-unquote hazy beers, you're not going to find the sediment at the bottom. You're not going to find sort of the floating detritus you find in local beers. And honestly, that's really what is going to give us that nose profile out of the way. So even when you look at like Trillium or Treehouse, a lot of the more popular IPAs that are pushed out, even though they're mass quote unquote, even though they're well produced, I wouldn't say mass produced, they're well produced beers, but they're going to have a lot at the bottom. So we're going to give this one a try right now. So it's a nice beer, some good cling to the edge. It's pretty clean. There's a lot on the nose up front. It's much. There's a lot more grapefruit, I think, in this beer. That sort of like takes the edge out of sort of like the mango and fluffiness of a lot of the higher rated sort of like the Trilliums and Treehouses of the world. And let's take a look at the Sam Adams here. Here, once again, like I said, I think when you look at the nationally produced beers, the really clean beers, these guys have been making beers for so long, they forget. Maybe they don't forget. What they tend to do is produce recipes that don't have a lot of waste. And that waste in small brewers really turns into nose profiles for me. So when we look at this, these are guys who have made, you know, millions of barrels of beer in the past, and they're looking to make sure that when they do it now, there's nothing at the bottom of the barrel, and there's nothing to waste, right? These guys are proficient and professional, and sometimes it doesn't work in their favor. So like I said, there's not a lot on the nose here. It doesn't bull rush you up front. So the tastes are a little sharper here. You feel it really more on the sides of your tongue. It's not a bad difference. I mean, this is a decent beer for mass availability. So what I get swapping back and forth, like I said, I feel like there's a lot more grapefruit here in the Startline, which means there's a bitterness around the edges. It leaves your tongue a little more dry. And what that does is, now IPAs have a fantastic quality, especially for bar owners, where bitterness really encourages eating food. So when you feel that bitterness on your tongue, the back of your throat, when you feel that throat clench, that really wants us to eat, and a lot it's for spicy foods, spicy or salty foods. So really the more grapefruit on the edge, and where it's just bitter enough to get past the casual drinker, that brings in appetizers for local beers. So these guys love these beers, where the Sam Adams is a little smoother, it's a little more on the orange side. I do enjoy the beer. It's excellent for a 6.8 and a 7.1. These are both really, really competitive, smooth beers. I'm going to split my decision here. So on my casual drinking, if I just had to pick up and drink a beer, I'm actually going to give it to the Sam Adams New England IPA. It's a very popular beer. It's very widely available. They do a fantastic job on it. And in a vacuum, like I said, yeah, you love me for that. But I'm going to tell you, and you're going to hear this a lot from me, in a vacuum, it's a 4 on a scale of 5. And people are going to argue with that, and I agree. So when you come down and you put this next to a beer that I feel is really on the high-end scale of the world of IPAs, the world of the competitive beers that we're looking at, it's severely going to diminish and shift to the left. But from in a vacuum point, we drink these beers and you're like, wow, that's a really good beer and I really like it. I think I'm going to score this like a 4 and a 4.25, and then you put it next to a Conga Street from Trillium, or a Julius or a Hayes, and you're like, I don't understand why I even pay for these beers. So, but we can't get all that all the time. So we got to look for things that are produced and close to us and see what we can get. So I would say from a mass-produced point and a general drinking, I'm going to go with the Sam Adams IPA. The Startline here is a great local beer. I think they're a little overcharging. I think they're stepping, but we got to support the beer that's close and the beer we can enjoy. So I'm happy to go out and buy whatever I can from them. So like I said, we got 2 beers here I think that are very close in quality and taste. I'm going to edge it out a little bit towards Sam Adams, mostly because this is a $16 4-pack and this is an $11 4-pack. So we can see that both that, razor edge here time. And because the Sam Adams guys are just so used to producing really, really clean beers, that this has made them, they've just got the edge there. I really hope, and this is, a shout out, I know a lot of folks at Sam Adams, and I just want to say, you guys need to bring a little more edginess to all of your beers. And a test kitchen or a small batch, this would go a long way to bring us back into your national brand. For right now, once again, my name is Josh Hopper. I hope this came out okay. This is my first one, and we're going to try to beer tube it up occasionally. We're going to try to find beers that are what I consider really, really close, and we're just going to edge out one or the other, and I'm going to try to do one mass-produced one with one locally produced beer, all right? Thank you very much. You have a good night.